Okay, so this is a suitable area to carry out the emergency stop here.
Right, okay. Right, okay, okay. So what did you do in your last lesson, Tony?
Oh, we've already done the kind of little chat at the beginning, didn't we?
Oh, of course you did, yeah.
Yeah.
That seems a long time ago now.
So you're asking me what I've done in my last lesson, and and you can't remember what we did 10 minutes ago.
No, I got a terrible memory. Where are you? Right, okay then, Tony, what we're going to do now is we're going to practice stopping in an emergency, or a controlled stop.
Barry, can I just ask you a question a minute? Yeah?
Yes.
That's probably the worst visual aid I've ever seen in my life, yeah?
Right.
Would you prefer to use mine?
Oh, can do.
On your lessons and for your test, yeah?
If you want, yeah.
Yeah, there's not... I noticed when we're doing the turn in the road, there's little prompts missing, like, you know, why are you not doing this type of road? Why are you not doing that type of road? I don't know who done that visual aid, but
That's the John Farlam one.
I've heard of him, but I've heard good things about him. I don't think his visual aid's brilliant. Let me just go to the boot and I'll get it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so this one's always going to be in the car. So if you want to stick that in the back, so it's out of the way. So you can see here you've got the contents here. Mirrors, emergency stop. 5, yeah.
Right.
Don't need to worry about this side too much, yeah.
Right. Okay.
But the symbols give you a lot of information, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, if you don't like it, then just let me know and we'll go back.
That's right. Yeah. We'll have a go at this one. Right, okay then. So today we're going to practice the emergency stop, or it's also called a controlled stop.
Yeah, it's called an emergency stop now. So.
Emergency stop now, is it? All right. Okay then. Right. Now, the important thing with the emergency stop is to not get into an emergency stop situation in the first place. So if we use forward planning and read the road ahead, then hopefully we'll never get into that position where we're going to need to do an emergency stop.
All right, yeah.
Okay, so by watching the road well ahead and taking in information when there's children around and going slower when the road's narrower, then hopefully this will never arise. But we'll practice this anyway, just in case it ever did. First thing to bear in mind is when the situation arises, what we don't do is check the mirrors, right? Because we haven't got time to check the mirrors.
Right.
So the first thing we need to do is to get the car stopped as quickly as we can. Now, if you've been checking your mirrors every 5 to 6 seconds anyway, you're going to have a fairly good idea of what's behind you.
All right, yeah. Yeah.
So you should be aware whether there's a car close behind.
Yeah.
If there was a car close, you should be going that much slower anyway, yeah? The next thing we need is very, very quick reactions.
Right.
It's very, very important you get that foot onto the brake as quickly as you can. So do you just want to practice, if you put your foot on the normal accelerator position, yeah, if you had to suddenly put your foot on the foot brake, can you just practice quickly putting it across to the brake?
Oh, yeah.
A little bit quicker than that? A bit quicker? That sort of thing, that's what we're looking for. Straight off the accelerator, onto the brake. But with your driving, hopefully you won't be on the accelerator, because when you're in that sort of position, you should be hopefully anticipating that situation arising, and you would have the brake covered.
Yeah, really putting really emphasise that quick reactions is very important, yeah?
Yeah.
You know, you could even have a little race with me there and say, you know, imagine, I know you haven't got a gas pedal, but you can imagine you're going to have your foot over the gas pedal.
Oh, right, okay.
And say, yeah, let's have a little competition and see who wins, yeah?
Yeah, okay. Should we do that?
Yeah.
Okay then, so shall we have a little competition and see if who can get their foot from the gas pedal to the brake?
I never win anything, Barry.
Oh, really? Let's put £5 on it then, just, if that's true.
Yeah. On your bike, mate.
Right, okay then, so when I say now, We'll see who can hit the brake pedal first.
Yeah,
Okay?
you could say the word stop, couldn't you?
Even better, isn't it? Okay, okay. 1, 2, 3, stop. Ooh, close. Should we try again?
Yeah, you counted me in there, don't you? 1, 2, 3, stop.
Yeah, so yeah, I shouldn't have done that, should I? Okay then. I was just trying to even it up because I know when I'm going to say stop. Okay, so we'll go again. When I say stop, we'll put our foot on the from the gas to the brake. Okay, stop. Very good.
Oh, I beat you that time, didn't I?
You did, very good.
£5.
Now it's important we brake. Normally when we're stopping, how would you normally stop a car when you come out to a junction?
Oh, screws the brake, thickness of a pound coin, thickness of a pound coin, thickness of a pound coin.
Now on the emergency stop, we don't want to do that. We want to get the brakes down progressively. So we stop the car as quickly as possible.
Oh, I always brake progressively.
Yeah, not on the emergency stop. What we want is a good jolt. What you don't want when you're normally driving is to jolt the passengers. You want a comfortable
I think the
ride.
word you're looking for is firm and progressive, yeah?
Firm and progressive,
Yeah.
And hopefully when you stop the car, it will throw you forward from the seat against the seat belt.
All right.
Now a little bit confused because on Blaine's he says on one of the faults he's braking too hard, and the anti-lock brakes come on. I thought the anti-lock brakes were doing their job when they came on.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about what he means there. Is that you're just slamming the brake on. If you use the words firm and progressive, I will actually relate to that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we'll brake firm and progressive. Now what will happen is if the anti-lock brakes come on, you'll feel the brake pedal pumping backwards and forwards. It will vibrate. If it does that, don't take your foot off the brake pedal. Keep it on because that's the anti-lock braking system doing its job.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't have anti-lock brakes in a car, so if you pass your test and you buy an older car that doesn't have anti-lock brakes and the wheels lock up in a skid when you're braking,
Yeah.
what you need to do is to take the skid away by releasing your foot off the brake pedal a little bit and then pushing it back on again, and doing that perhaps 2 or 3 times a second if you can. And that's called cadence braking, which is what the anti-lock braking does. When your wheels are skidding, you're losing efficient braking. You need to be at the point they are going to skid.
Oh, right, yeah.
So by pumping the brakes, we'll do that, and that's what the ABS does.
All right.
You need to keep both hands on the wheel and keep the car straight, because what you don't want to do is to go into a skid. Okay? Now, if you did go into a skid, any idea how you would handle it if the back of the car started to slide away from you?
No, I've never skidded.
No? Okay. If the back of the wheels to slide away to your right, you need to steer into the skid. And that means turn the wheel to the right a little bit.
Right.
Not a lot, only 5-10 minutes to the right, and that will correct the car.
Right.
So if the car back was going out to the left, what way would you turn the wheel?
Oh, to the left.
You turn it a little bit to the left, just to straighten it up. And then the car will come into line, and then you'll keep the car straight.
All right. That's complicated, isn't it?
Well, it's something we could practice if it was nice and snowy and icy.
So if the back of the car was skidding to the left,
You would steer to the left. You steer into the skid.
that means the front of my car would be heading that way, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So that means if there's a bus coming towards me, I'm not going to hit the bus, am I?
You're not going to go across the road. You're going to correct the skid. So
No.
what it will do is straighten the car.
I'm trying to give you light around here.
Sorry.
Yeah. If the back end of the car is skidding, the explanation you've given is right. It's the one that's in the essential skills, yeah. But Blaine gives a slightly better one. If my car was skidding towards the bus coming towards me, I'm not going to hit the bus. I'm going to steer away from the bus, am I?
Yes, that's
Exactly,
right.
exactly the same, isn't it? If my car was skidding towards the parked car on my left, I'm not going to hit the parked car on the left, so I'd steer to the right, yeah?
Yeah.
So it's exactly the same, but just an easier explanation, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you give both the explanations, then it just makes it easier to understand.
I found it's a natural instinct anyway to steer into the skid. I find.
Yeah, it might be somebody who's been driving for years, yeah.
Well, true, yeah. Right, okay, so what we've done, we've seen the emergency, we've got the brakes on, we haven't checked the mirrors because we didn't have time. We've kept 2 hands on the wheel and the car's come to a halt. Any idea what you think you might do then? Next thing you should do? Bearing in mind there could be a young child right in front of the car.
No.
No? What you do, you put the handbrake on to secure the car. You put the car into neutral, yeah? And for the purpose of this exercise, we're going to be in the middle of the road. So what we'll then do is to make proper observation. So you do your 6-point check, because we're going to be right out in the road probably. It's important that we're looking for anyone that could be coming into the car from any direction. And then when we've ascertained it's safe, we'll just pull forward and then pull into the side of the road, and then we'll talk about what we've just done.
All right.
Okay, but in a real emergency, you'd put your handbrake on in case a car come up behind and hit you and pushed you into a child or something. So you need to secure the car until the danger's out of the way.
Right.
And again, in a real situation, if you'd skidded and there was people around, you'd have passerbys coming from all directions to see what was happening. So you must do your observations before you move the car.
Right.
Right. Now, I meant to say, it's quite important, if you did see a situation arising, then hopefully with your training, and we're going to teach you properly, you'll be covering the brake into a dangerous situation. Now, if you can cover the brake and you need to do an emergency stop, the fact you've lost your sort of thinking distance from moving the feet from the gas to the brake, it could save you a couple of, say, a second. Now, in a second, that could save you travelling 20, 30 feet.
No, that's a lot, isn't it?
Just by the fact you're covering the brake, you haven't got to move the foot across. That can save you quite a lot of time. So by reading the road ahead and being prepared, when you get into that sort of situation, hopefully you'll be covering the brake anyway and not gaily accelerating away into a dangerous situation. Okay, so do you want to practice an emergency stop?
Yeah, very nervous.
So am I, so don't worry about it. We'll be all right. So, do you want to talk me through what you're going to do first of all? When I give you,
I've got to drive around and wait till the child runs out for him.
What I'm going to do, I'll check behind us.
Oh, we're not going to use a real child.
I'm going to find one. Don't worry. No, we're going to drive down the road. I'm going to look behind us, and when it's clear, then I'll say to you stop, and I'll push my hand down like that.
Then where?
I'll go stop, or stop. Yeah, stop.
Alright, so I've got to be looking down at the floor.
No, because I'm going to go stop. When I say the word stop...
Why don't you just put your hand underneath the door mirror and say stop?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll go stop. I'll put my hand under the mirror and say stop. Now, when I do that, I don't want you to check the mirror. I just want you to stop the car as quickly as you can by using firm, progressive action on the brake.
Right.
So don't stamp on it. Don't check your mirror and brake gently. Just get the car stopped as quickly as you can. Yeah.
Right. So have you ever done one of these in training before, or?
Yeah, have you done any of these at all?
No, have you ever done one? This is me coming out of roll. Have you ever done one of these in training?
Ages ago.
Right, so remember, you got a duty of care to me, to other road users, and obviously yourself as well, yeah?
Yeah.
So, don't ask me to carry out the manoeuvre if there's a moving vehicle coming towards me, a moving vehicle behind me, or coming to the sides, or in very close proximity to pedestrians walking on the pavement, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, it's got, always do it when there's no one around.
And very important, you look over that right shoulder, yeah?
Yeah.
I would have just told me that you were going to look over the right shoulder, and for me not to react to that, yeah?
Right, okay, yes, yeah. Yeah? Yeah.
So, have you ever heard of the mantra that Blaine uses?
Keep your hands on the wheel, don't look in the mirror, you haven't got time.
Well, we start at the top and work your way down. Don't check your mirrors, you won't have time.
Keep your hands on the wheel.
Keep your hands on the wheel, don't steer. And you'll tell me when to put the clutch down.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, although at the end of the day, if you did stall, it doesn't matter. But the important thing is to stop the car.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Which is, in my car, I have to put the clutch down rapidly behind the brake because I got an anti-stall device.
Right. I'll just go back in the roll now.
Yeah, sorry.
I knew we were going to do this today, so I read my brother's handbook. And in his handbook it says you've got to put the clutch down first.
Clutch down before you brake? So how do I get on with that if that says that in the handbook?
Well, you could have a look at your essential skills now and again coming out of roll, yeah? What does essential skills say?
Well, the essential skills says look at the, depending on the handbook, It depend on whether you leave the brake, you put the clutch down at the last minute, or
Essential Skills says it's very important to check the handbook of the car.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that be an important point to get across to me on the briefing? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned on my one. It's you have to put the clutch down straight away after the brake, because if you don't, the anti-stall mechanism tries to keep the car. It senses the car's going to stall and tries to keep it going, and it pumps fuel into the engine.
Because Essential Skills says that it's very important to check your owner's manual. I've never seen a car where it says you put the brake down first. But obviously there must be cars out there, otherwise they wouldn't put it in. So because it's in Essential Skills, it's very important to mention it.
Right.
In the same way, Essential Skills mentions firm and progressive braking. Yeah. Quick reactions. These are all things that the DSA consider very important. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well, I'll just give this a pause and then I'll reset it again.